So, what are the most impactful developments at Smart Build that have really affected the industry? There are a couple of just high level ones where we hit the industry right between the eye, and as you know, on our website, our value proposition, very simply stated, is hey, um, in 15 minutes, do the most accurate takeoff you've ever had in your life, at reducing the amount of time it takes from 3.5 hours down to 15 minutes. I mean, that in a nutshell is the high level value proposition that Smart Build brings to the industry, right? So that's undoubtedly that's had a huge impact on businesses and on people. I mean, I do all of our first point of contact sales work, and I talk to contractors routinely, and it's very routine to hear that, yeah, I own the company and I spend 30 hours a week, maybe 40 hours a week doing bids. And it's taken me, I can do three a day at best. And I'm not getting home for dinner until it's 7 o'clock, right? And I'm working on weekends. You hear it all the time. And after they successfully implement Smart Build, they're down to 15 or 20 minutes. It's transformational. So that's had a huge impact. We've helped make companies more successful. We've given people a lot of time back in their lives. So that's been huge, right? Just a tremendous savings in
Yeah.
time, an increase in accuracy as well, right? Once you get it dialed in, you get the data structure, and you're using Smart Build, the software program, you're not going to have those routine errors that happen when you're doing manual operations. The second thing is just the selling proposition. They're much more gratifying, and we give people the ability to be so much more professional in what they do. So what did the before picture look like for that same contractor I mentioned? Well, somebody says they want a bid on a barn dominium, right? Well, because it takes me, I can only do two or three a day. I'm out 2 weeks on bids. So I have to tell my customer that, my client, I'll get back to you with the bid in about 2 weeks. And I send an email. Well, then when they get that email, they line it up with five or six other emails. They probably forgot who that contractor was. That's not a very effective selling process, right? It's not very gratifying. It's not very successful. The success rate, in fact, is pretty low. It's about 15%, one out of every six or seven bids. Because when that bid gets back and the client lines up those bids on a table, what's going to drive your thinking? Well, that the price is going to be probably front and center. That's going to be really important. Fast forward now with Smart Build, that backlog of 2 weeks, now it's maybe less than a day. And when someone calls and says, "Hey, my wife and I are thinking about a barn dominium. We'd like to get a quote." Well, now that same contractor, this can be his new sales approach. Well, look, I'm going to send you a link, or come on over to my office. Let's sit down and we're going to design your building real time, right? Now the client is seeing their building in 3D. They're laying out their floor plan and they can see it, and they love it. They love it, and they can do what ifs. So in that environment, our contractor is now engaging their client in a very close personal way. And the professional effect of having that 3D model that they're sharing real time with their client just raises the professionalism of that sales presentation. And that shows in the close rate. Our customers tell us when they operate in that mode, they close more than half of those situations. So those are two just dramatic impacts that we've had, and further to the point of, employing technology in the sales process. Now with people putting our Smart Build, the e-modeler version, on their website, now it's also become a great tool for generating sales leads. How do I even get those clients to pick up the phone and call me? Well, if you're on the website and I'm using SEO to attract people on my website, now people can design their own building. They love to do that, and users, they get very wonky about that. They like to get on and see their own building in 3D. So they design and submit their information to our customer, who can generate a price for them. And by doing that, they capture a lot of lead information. So it's had a dramatic impact there. And another huge impact has just been on the back end, right? So the nuts and bolts of how we do business, right? How do we, if I'm a supplier and I have price updates, in the past I'd send an email around to people, or maybe fax, and they'd all have to go take a look at these prices and do whatever they did, update spreadsheets and everything. Well, with Smart Build now, a company like a Graver Post Buildings or a Burroughs Post Frame Supply, our biggest distributors, well, they can automatically update their pricing to their clients via their Smart Build. So now those customers don't even have to lift a finger. And when it comes time for ordering materials, well, the contractors who buy from a Smart Build supplier, they push a button. We take that job spend design in Smart Build. We automatically generate that material list, send it over to the supplier. So there's no longer somebody sitting at a desk, looking up part numbers, typing stuff in, making errors, and having frustrated customers. So we've really cleaned up that part of the business as well on the back end. So those are some of the main things that I can think of that have had a really positive impact on this whole industry. Feel really good about it.